Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to add and configure lookup transformation. A lookup transformation basically is used to perform a lookup by joining data in the specified input column to a column in a reference data set. For this lecture, we are going to set up a lookup transformation that will use the OLEDB connection manager that we've already created. We're going to use that to connect to the database that contains the data that is the source of the reference data set. In this lecture, we are going to configure two lookup transformation components to add to the package. One transformation will be to perform a lookup of the values from the currency key column of the DIM currency dimension table, which belongs to the AdventureWorks 2014 DW. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to do that based on a matching currency ID column value from our source, which is a flat file, which is a sample currency data file, text file from the flat file source. So we're going to do the transformation based on that. The second lookup will be a transformation that will perform a lookup of the values from the date key column of the DIM date dimension table from the AdventureWorks DW database. We're going to base that to match the currency date column value from the flat file sample data source. So to add and configure lookup key transformations, we click on our tool again, the SSIS tool, and within the tool there is an option for this common. Let's click on common here, and within this option here there should be an option for lookup. All right, so we've got an option there. So we're going to drag this lookup onto the design. So make sure the lookup is directly below the extract sample currency data tags. Make sure it's directly below that. First, we need to rename this lookup component. So right click on it and click on the properties. No, sorry, not properties. Let me escape that. Right click and go rename. That's it. So we're going to rename that. I'm going to call it lookup currency key. Oh, I should have left that lookup. So we're going to type lookup currency key. All right, so that would be the new name. And then click on this extract sample currency data source here and drag the blue arrow so that it connects to this lookup currency key. So just drag it down into it. Okay, so now it should connect. So we've connected that to this. So both components are now connected. Double click on this lookup currency key. We want to change some properties here. Make sure you've got the full cache selected under the general tab. And then in the connection type area, here, connection type, make sure you've got the OLEDB connection manager selected, and then click on the connection page. On the connection page, make sure you've got in the OLEDB connection tab, make sure you've got the database selected. So this is my database. Make sure you've got the AdventureWorks selected. Next, make sure you've got the use results of an SQL query selected, so check on that. And inside here you can either build a query or insert a query. So I've already pre-written the query. The query is available for you to download and use. So if you look on the resource tab for this lecture, there will be a file called sqlquery.txt. So that's where I'm pasting this query from. So this is the query here. Basically, I'm selecting using a select statement from this table here, dim.currency. I'm setting that as a ref table. This is an alias I've set for it. And these are the various currencies I have set for it. So just copy and paste that query into this query window. Next, let's click on the columns tab. On the columns tab, just make sure that the following selections are available. You've got in the available input column, make sure you've got. So what we're going to do, we're going to make some changes here. So we're going to drag this currency ID, drag it from the available input column, and we're going to drop it here next to the currency alternate key. Okay, let's see what's going on. Saying the data type do not match. Let's have a look. So trying to drag this input, this currency ID from the available input into the available lookup, we're getting some errors here that the data type do not match. So what we need to do, we need to go back, need to exit that for a minute and go back into our connection manager for the source. So we right click on that and click open, and let's go to the advanced and look at the currency ID. We've got string, so we need to change that. It looks like it wasn't saved when we made these changes. So click on the drop down arrow. We need to select a Unicode. We need to select this option here. Select that, click OK, and let's go back here and go into general. Make sure that it's full cache. Make sure you've got that. Let's come back to connection. Make sure you've got that. Make sure you've got this selected. This wasn't saved because I cancelled out of it. So I have to paste the data, the script back in. This script is available for you to download for this lecture if you look under the resource tab. All right, so now let's go back to the columns. Now that I've adjusted that data type, hopefully it should work now. Let's drag this currency ID. What's actually happening here, this is a transformation stage. This is a lookup transformation. So this transformation enables the performance of equijoins. So there's going to be some equijoins between the input and a reference data set. So we need at least one column in this available input column table that must be mapped to one column here, and they must have the same data type. So let's drag that currency ID panel into this currency alternate. It's still not happy, so we need to check that. What we need to do is right click on this one here, this extract sample currency. Let's look at the properties and click on show advanced editor. So what you need to do, click on the input output properties and click on this plus sign. You need to make sure that the data type, so if I click currency ID, make sure it's got Unicode string there. And then if we go back and click on the output columns and click on currency ID, make sure the data type there is, I've just changed this, that's why, but it wasn't the same. That's why we were getting an error. So make sure the data type there matches. Okay, and just click OK. So now if we double click on that and go back to the connection tab, I need to paste the SQL query in again and click on columns. Now if I drag this ID column here to the alternate, it should work. You can see the connection has been made, Make sure you check the box next to the currency alternate key. Next, click on this OK button there. All right, you can see the red cross has been removed. There was a red cross there before. So now we know that this extraction subdata, the source has been linked to the lookup. Next, we want to check the properties. So right click on the lookup currency key and go properties, and make sure on the local ID there, you've got wherever you are selected. I'm in the United Kingdom, so I've got United Kingdom selected. And make sure the default page code, if I scroll down, there should be a property. That's the default page code. Make sure that is set to 1252. All right, we're gonna I apologize, this lecture's gone on a bit long due to some technical issues that I experienced during the lookup setup. So we're going to split this lecture into two. In the second part, we're going to create a lookup for the other column, which is the date column. So we'll perform the lookup for the date key transformation in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.